Hello everybody. If you want to read all the stories in full, please go to www.steveuk.blog. Thank you. Short story 201, The New Apartment. Lina stared up at the tall building, its windows reflecting the afternoon sun. This was it, her new home. After months of searching, she'd finally found an apartment in a good neighbourhood, close to her work. It wasn't huge, but it had everything she needed. A bright living room, a separate bedroom, and a small balcony overlooking the park. Taking a deep breath, Lina unlocked the heavy front door and stepped inside. The air was cool and smelled slightly of fresh paint. The moving company had already arrived and were carefully unloading her furniture. Lina watched as they carried in her favourite armchair, the worn leather seat comforting and familiar. "Careful with that," she called out, pointing to a box labelled Kitchenware. Inside were her mismatched plates collected from travels and flea markets, each piece holding a memory. The lead mover, a friendly man with a warm smile, nodded reassuringly. "Don't worry, miss, we'll take good care of everything." Lina thanked him and wandered through the empty rooms. The living room was spacious, with large windows that promised plenty of natural light. She could already imagine cosy evenings curled up on the couch with a good book. The bedroom was smaller but felt calming, with pale blue walls and a view of the park. As the movers finished unpacking, Lina explored the kitchen. It was compact but functional, with white cabinets and stainless steel appliances. She unpacked the coffee maker first, eager for a hot drink after a long day. With everything in its place, the apartment started to feel less like a stranger and more like a home. Lina spent the rest of the afternoon arranging her furniture and putting away her belongings. She hung her favourite painting, a vibrant scene of a bustling marketplace in Morocco, above the sofa. On a shelf she displayed her collection of seashells, each one whispering stories of happy beach days. Finally, exhausted but satisfied, Lina stepped onto the balcony. The park below was a hive of activity. Children played on the swings, teenagers chatted on benches, and elderly couples strolled along the paths. The air was filled with sounds of laughter and birdsong. "This is perfect," Lina whispered to herself, leaning against the railing. For the first time in a long time, she felt a sense of peace and belonging. This wasn't just an apartment, it was a new beginning. The next morning, Lina woke up to the sound of birds chirping outside her window. Sunlight streamed through the curtains, painting the room in a warm glow. Stretching in her new bed, she felt a surge of excitement. Today was the first official day in her new home. After a quick breakfast on the balcony, Lina decided to explore the neighbourhood. She set off down the tree-lined street, her heart light. The air smelled fresh and the morning sun was pleasantly warm. Just a few blocks away, she found a bustling little bakery, the aroma of freshly baked bread wafting from its open door. Stepping inside, she was greeted by a display of golden pastries and a friendly smile from the baker behind the counter. "Good morning," he boomed, his voice filled with warmth. "What can I tempt you with today?" Lina's stomach rumbled in response. "Can I have a croissant, please?" she asked, pointing at the flaky pastry in the glass display. The baker chuckled. "An excellent choice, still warm from the oven." He wrapped the croissant in a brown paper bag and handed it to her. Lina thanked him and continued on her walk, savouring the buttery pastry. The neighbourhood was full of life. There was a charming bookstore with overflowing shelves and a cosy reading nook. A lively vegetable market with colourful displays of fresh produce, and a small park with shady trees perfect for a picnic lunch. As Lina walked, she noticed little details that made the neighbourhood feel special. A local artist had decorated a utility box with a whimsical mural. A group of children played hopscotch on the sidewalk, their laughter echoing in the air. An elderly woman watered her potted plants on her windowsill, greeting passers-by with a smile. Later that afternoon, Lina decided to tackle the unpacking boxes that still filled her living room. As she sorted through her belongings, she came across a dusty box labelled Photos. A wave of nostalgia washed over her. Inside were photos from various stages of her life, childhood pictures of her family, snapshots from college days with friends, travel photos from exotic destinations. With a smile, Lina took out a photo album and began to fill it, carefully placing each picture in its slot. Looking at the photos, she felt a sense of gratitude for the experiences that had shaped her into the person she was today. By the time she'd finished, the sun was setting, casting a warm glow on her apartment. Lina felt a deep sense of contentment. This new apartment wasn't just a place to live, it was a place to call home. It held not just her belongings, but her hopes and dreams for the future. With a quiet hum of satisfaction, Lina settled down on the couch, ready to curl up with a good book and enjoy her new haven. Vocabulary notes. Stared up, looked intently at something high up. Reflected, the sun's light bounced off the windows. Deep breath, took a large amount of air into her lungs, often done to calm down. Heavy front door, a large and solid door at the entrance of a building. Cool and smelled slightly of fresh paint. The air was a little cold and had a faint smell of paint that had recently been applied. Worn leather seat. The seat was made of leather that had become smooth and possibly a bit damaged over time, which makes it comfortable and familiar. Mismatched plates. Plates that didn't belong to a set and were different colours or styles. Flea markets, outdoor markets where people sell used or second-hand items. Spacious, having a lot of space. Curled up, made herself comfortable in a sitting position with her knees pulled up to her chest. Pale blue walls, the walls were painted a light shade of blue. Compact, small but well organized. Stainless steel appliances, shiny metal appliances that are resistant to rust and easy to clean. Sense of peace and belonging, a feeling of calmness and being comfortable in a place. Surge of excitement, a sudden feeling of strong happiness and anticipation. Tree-lined street, a street with trees planted on either side. Aroma, a pleasant smell. Flaky pastry, a type of baked good made from dough that is layered with butter, giving it a light and flaky texture. Bustling, full of activity and energy. Charming bookstore, a small and attractive bookstore. Overflowing shelves, shelves that are so full of books they seem ready to spill over. Cozy reading nook, a comfortable and quiet corner perfect for reading. Lively vegetable market, a market where fresh vegetables are sold in a busy and energetic atmosphere. Whimsical mural, a colourful and imaginative painting on a wall. Hopscotch, a children's game played by jumping over squares drawn on the sidewalk. Potted plants, plants that are grown in pots rather than directly in the ground. Nostalgia, a sentimental longing for the past. Gratitude, appreciation for something good in your life. Contentment, a feeling of happiness and satisfaction. Haven, a safe and peaceful place. Story written by Google Gemini AI. Images created by Designer AI. To read all the stories in full, please go to www.steveuk.blog. Thank you. Hello, this is Steve. If you enjoyed this story, please would you take the time to leave a meaningful comment and click on the like icon. If you want to know when the next story has been uploaded, please click on the notify bell icon to be notified. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel and tell your English learning friends so they can benefit too. Thank you.